Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about notes on the first string. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that we notice on this page is that we have three notes, and we're going to start on the left side with E. You notice here in the tablature that we have the first note indicated on the first string, which is on the right side of the tablature. This is played with the open string, and that is open E. This is what it looks like in notation form. Whenever I'm looking at or learning a new note, I always ask myself, is it a line note or a space note? In this case, it's a space note. And from there, I ask, where is it lying in the staff? So I would say that this is the fourth space E, starting from bottom to top, always of the staff. The next note is F, and this is played with your first finger on the first fret of the first string. And it sounds like this. And that is F. And looking at the notation, we can see that it is a line note. And looking from the where it's placed on the staff, that it is on the fifth line, or I can say the top line of the staff. The next note is G, and G is played with the third finger on the third fret of the first string. And where it's placed on the notation is on top of the staff. So that's how I know that that is always, whenever I see a note on top of the staff, no matter if it's a whole note, half note, or quarter note, if it sits on top of the staff, it's a G. So now that we've learned those three notes, let's take a look at number one. Now, as an indication, you can see in the music, they have these little staple-looking gestures above the notes, which means that you're going to be using a downward motion with your pick, or you can use your finger or your thumb, whatever is most comfortable. But it's usually meaning for your pick playing, so that as time goes on, we'll be doing alternative picking, and they'll show you how to do an upstroke as well. So this just means go straight down with your pick. Okay? So let's look at number one. What I like to do before I go to play a tune is I like to learn the tune. So the first thing I like to do is look at the very first measure, ask what note it is. In this case, it's E, and it's held for a whole note. The next measure is F, also held for a whole note, which is kind of the pattern of this tune. Next is G, then we come back down to F, and finally E. Okay? So let's go ahead and play this together. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. Very good. So now we're on to number two. And we notice now, and the same thing, let's go over it before we play. So in measure one, we have two half notes, and they're both E's, held for 2 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next measure are two F's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third measure are two G's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next measure is G for half note and F for half note. G, 2, F, 2, and then E for 4 beats of that as a whole note. So let's go ahead and play this together. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 2, E to F, F to G. One more, to F, and to E. All right. Now let's look at number three. Number three has quarter notes of the same note E. Then the second measure has 4 Fs, and then 2 Gs, 2 Fs, and then 2 quarter note E's and a half note E. Let's try playing that together. 1, 2, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now we've gone through the first page. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second page. On number 4, we can see that we are going between E and F in the first measure. So let's go ahead and just try that together. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, E, F. Now let's look at the next measure. We have G, F, G, F. Let's play that measure. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, G, F. Let's put those two measures together. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, E, F, G, F, G, F. And now let's take a look at the third measure. Well, we can see it's exactly the same as the first measure. Let's go ahead and play that together. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, E, F. And then, of course, the last note is E. That's a whole note. Let's play that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's go ahead and play the whole thing. We're going to start slow, and the idea is if you look in the writing above, that he wants you to start slow, but then eventually, if you can play it faster, go for it. Here we go. Number 4, starting slow. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, F, G, F, E, F, E, F, E, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's move on to number 5. Here we have the first measure. We go E, E, and we skip over F to go to G, G. Let's just try that. 1, 2, ready, go. E, E, G, G. Now, make sure that you're hitting that G and that your third finger is going appropriately to the 3rd fret. If you're getting F sharp or you're going too low, then adjust accordingly. What I like to do is I like to kind of hover my fingers over where they need to go. So my first finger is hovering over the 1st fret. My third finger is hovering over the 3rd fret so that I can place them down accordingly. Okay, let's try that one more time. Number 5, first measure. 1, 2, ready, go. E, E, G, G. Now let's look at the second measure. We go F, E, F, E. Let's try that out. 1, 2, ready, go. F, E, F, E. Then the third measure we have G, F, G, F. Let's play that third measure together. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, G, F. And then the last measure is E, 2, 3, 4. Let's try playing the first two measures together by itself. 1, 2, ready, go. E, E, G, G, F, E, F, E. Awesome. Now let's look at the next two measures. Put those together. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, G, F, E. Now a little trick as well that I might mention is making, when I go from G to F, is sometimes you can actually just leave your first finger on the F. So when I switch from G to F, all I have to do is just move my third finger off of G and just keep my first finger down so that there's minimal movement. We want to make it as efficient as possible and as easy as possible for ourselves. So that's just a nice little trick for yourself. So let's go ahead and play the whole thing of number 5. 1, 2, ready, go. E, E, G, G, F, E, F, E, G, F, G, F, E, 2, 3, 4. All right, on to number 6. Let's look at the first measure. We have E, F, G, F, and then E for half note, E for another half note. So let's just play those first two measures. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F, E2, E4. All right, now let's look at the next two measures. We have F, G, F, E, E for a half note, E for another half note. Let's play those two measures. 1, 2, ready, go. F, G, F, E, E, E. Let's try that one more time. Make sure you're starting on F instead of E this time. 1, 2, ready, go. F, G, F, E, E, E. Let's play all four measures. Now we start with E and make sure that we start on F on the third measure. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F, E2, E4, F, G, F, E, E2, E4. All right. Now on to number 7. If you take a look here, we have our melody, and then very lightly you can see there's these little letter names above the notes. Those are not to indicate the names of the actual notes in the staff. In fact, it's actually indicating the chord that can be used to accompany the melody. So in this case, for number 7, they showed the little gray letter C representing the chord C. And we'll discuss chords a little bit later, but just to sum up, a chord is an accumulation of 3 notes of a certain scale, and when you play them together, they make a nice sound. In this case, it's C major, and that, or just C for short. And C indicates that you're going to be playing its root, which is C, and then the third note of its scale, which would be E, and then the 5th note of its scale, which would be G. And you play those 3 together. Now, it doesn't matter which, where their voicing is. It could be a low C, it could be a high C, it could be a low G or a mid G. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a combination of C, G, and E in a certain voicing, it's going to make that a beautiful sound. So, don't get confused by seeing the C there, even though it's above the note E. Remember that the E fits in that chord that I just described. So let's look at just the melody for number 7. The first measure, we have 3 quarter note E's and then an F. And then we have, in the second measure, 2 G's and 2 E's. Let's go ahead and play those 2 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 2, 3, F, G, G, E, E. Very nice. And then if you look in the next 2 measures, we have a lot of F's. So we have 4 quarter note F's and then a whole note F. And then you can see that there's an arrow that says go on to the next line. At the very end of every song, we have this double bar here. That is what makes us know that this is the end of a song. So if we don't see that, we just keep going. So we go all the way to the next line, and then we see that double bar, and that's how we know it's the end of the song. So note to self, always just keep going left to right. If you don't see the double bar, you just go to the next line and keep going. So let's play those 2 measures of the F's. 1, 2, ready, go. F, 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 2, 3, 4. Let's play that whole first line. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 2, 3, F, G, 2, E, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. And now we're on to the next line. Let's look at the next 2 measures. We have F that's continuing, F, E, F, E. And then the next measure is G, G, F, F. Let's play those two measures of the second line. 2, ready, go. F, E, F, E, G, G, F, F. Very nice. And then we have the last two measures, which is E, F, G, F, and whole note E. Let's play those two measures. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F, E, 2, 3, 4. Let's play the whole second line. 1, 2, ready, go. F, E, F, E, G, G, F, F, E, F, G, F, E, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. On to the last of this page, Spanish theme. Let's look at the first two measures. First two measures, we have 2 half note E's and then F, F, G, F. Let's go ahead and play that together. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 2, E, 4, F, F, G, F. And then if we look at the next two measures, they're the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and play those two measures. 1, 2, ready, go. E, E, F, F, G, F. And then on to the next line, you can see we have E, F, G, F. And then we do it 2 more times. E, F, G, F, E, F, G, F. And then a whole note E at the end. Let's just play that whole second line. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F, E, F, G, F, E, F, G, F, E, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's play the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, F, G, F, E, F, G, F, E, F, G, F, E, F, G, F, E, 2, 3, 4. All right, great job. If there was any parts where you needed to have some extra practice, feel free to rewind and repeat it as much as you need until we get on to for the next lesson, which will be notes of the second string. So we'll see you on the next lesson.